araw! Kumusta kayong lahat? Maraming salamat sa Diyos sa isa na namang napakabuting araw at pagkakataon para matuto. Muli, ako si Teacher Royce at hayaan nyo na gabayan kayo at tulungan upang gawing ang math ay maging madali lang. Simulan na natin! Mga ka-GMD, ito ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong araw. Measures of position, quartiles, deciles, and percentiles for group and ungrouped data. Ito ang ating mga objectives para sa araw na ito. The basic purpose of all the measures of central tendency discussed so far during your grade 7 and grade 8 classes was to gain more knowledge and deeper understanding about the characteristics of a dataset. Another method of analyzing a dataset is by arranging all the observations in either ascending or descending order of their magnitude. Then, this ordered set is divided into two equal parts by applying the concept of median. However, to have more knowledge about the dataset, we may divide it into more parts of equal sizes. The measures of central tendency, which are used for dividing the data to several equal parts, are called partition values. We shall discuss data analysis by dividing into 4, 10, and 100 parts of equal sizes, and the corresponding partition values are called quartiles, deciles, and percentiles respectively. All these values can be determined in the same way as the median. The only difference is in their location. Quantiles can be applied when, number 1, dealing with large amount of data, which includes the timely results for standardized tests in schools, etc. Number 2, trying to discover the smallest as well as the largest values in a given distribution. And number 3, examining financial fields for academic as well as statistical studies. Simulan na natin sa quartiles, deciles, and percentiles for ungrouped data. Here is the formula for quartiles. Q sub k is equal to k times the quantity n plus 1 all over 4, where k is equal to 1, 2, or 3. Tingnan nyo ang illustration na ito. Suppose that we have a number line from 0 to 100. Quartiles divides the number line into 4 equal parts. Each part is equivalent to 25%. Quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3 divides the number line into 4 equal parts. Quartile 2 divides the line into 2 equal parts. This part is the lower quartile. This part is the upper quartile. Quartile 1 is the lower quartile. Quartile 3 is the upper quartile. For deciles, we have d sub k is equal to k times the quantity n plus 1 all over 10, where k is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 9. The deciles divide the number line into 10 equal parts. Each part is equivalent to 10%. Decile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 divides the number line into 10 equal parts. For percentile, we have P sub k is equal to k times the quantity n plus 1 all over 100. Where k is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to 99. Percentiles divide the number line into 100 equal parts, and each part is equal to 1%. Percentile 1, 2, 3, 4 up to percentiles 99 divides the number line into 100 equal parts. Para sa ating unang example, we have a group of students obtain the following scores in their 50-item latest quiz in Math 10. Here are the data: 21, 30, 10, 7, 24, 27, 19, 24, 11, 26, and 19. Ang kailangan natin gawin: arrange the scores from smallest to highest, similar to this one. Pagkatapos nyong gawin yon, you need to count all the data. So in total, we have 11 data. Let us try to compute for a third quartile, 7th decile, and 90th percentile. Para sa formula, quartile 3 is equal to 3 times the quantity n plus 1 all over 4. By substitution, n is equal to 11. So we will have quartile 3 is equal to 3 times the quantity 11 plus 1 all over 4. So that is 12 times 3. We have 36 over 4. And 36 over 4 is equal to 8. So meaning, quartile 3 is the 8th data, which is equal to 24. So let us double check. So from 7, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So indeed, the 8th data is 24. Therefore, 75% of the scores are below 24 and 25% of the scores are above 24. Remember, each partition is equivalent to 25% in quartiles. Ngayon ay gawin naman natin ang letter B, 7th decile. The formula, we have decile 7 is equal to 7 times the quantity n plus 1 all over 10. And n is equal to 11. By substitution, we have decile 7 is equal to 7 times 11 plus 1, that is 12, all over 10. 7 times 12 is 84 over 10. And it is equal to 8.4. So 8.4 data in the given data set is the decile 7. Wala naman tayong makikitang 8.4th position in the data set. But we know that 8.4 is in between the 8th data and the 9th data. To get the value of decile 7 with 8.4th position, pwede nyong gawin ang alinman sa dalawang proseso. Magiging depende na lang ito sa inyong teacher. The first method is to get the average of the 8th and 9th data. From the given data set, the 8th data is 24 and the 9th data is 26. Kunin na natin ang kanilang average. 8th data plus 9th data all over 2 is equal to 24 plus 26 all over 2. 24 plus 26 is 50 over 2 is equal to 25. Ito ang pangalawang proseso. We need to get the difference of the 8th and 9th data times the decimal part of the computed position. The 9th data is 26. The 8th data is 24. We get the difference times the decimal part of the computed position. So we have the difference that is equal to 2 times the decimal part of 8.4. That is 0.4. We have 0.8. And after that, computed value 0.8 will be added to the 8th position. That is 24 plus 0.8 and we have 24.8. Para sa atin, ang gagamitin natin ay yung first process. Get the average. So the value of decile 7 is 25. For the conclusion, 70% of the scores are below 25 and 30% of the scores are above 25. Letter C. Percentile 90. The formula, percentile 90 is equal to 90 times the quantity n plus 1 all over 100. So by substitution, we have percentile 90 is equal to 90 times the quantity 11 plus 1 all over 100. 90 times 12 is 1080 all over 100. So we have percentile 90 is at the 10.8 position. So 10.8 is in between the 10th data and the 11th data. Gaya ng sabi natin kanina, we will just get the average of the 10th data and the 11th. The 10th data in the given data set is 27 and the 11th data is 30. So get the average of 27 and 30. So we have 27 plus 30 is 57 divided by 2 is 28.5. For the conclusion, 90% of the scores are below 28.5 and 10% of the scores are above 28.5. Sana nasundan ang quartiles, deciles, and percentiles for ungrouped data. To Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ang quartiles, deciles, and percentiles for group data. So I want you to consider this table. The table 1 represents the individuals with flu vaccine in Barangay Callejon, Alfonso, Cavite. So for the age group, so we have 3 to 7, 8 to 12, 13 to 17, 18 to 22, 23 to 27, and here are the frequency for each age group. And now let us complete the table. First, identify the interval for each age group, and that is equal to 5. Next, we need to add up all the frequency for each age group, and that is 40. So we have 40 data in all. The lower boundary for each age group, let us start with 23 to 27, and that is 22.5. For 18 to 22, we have 17.5. 13 to 17, we have 12.5. 8 to 12, we have 7.5. And for the last age group, we have 2.5. For the cumulative frequency, let us start with the lowest age group. Copy the frequency for this age group. Then we add the frequency of the next age group. 10 plus 9 is 19. Then we continue the process. 19 plus 5 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. And 32 plus 8 is equal to 40. The topmost value for the cumulative frequency should be equal to the total number of data. Kung hindi nagtugma, may kulang o sobra, kailangan nating ulitin. Gagamitin natin ang data given dito sa table mamaya sa ating mga computations. So for now, let us proceed for the formula for quartiles, deciles, and percentiles for group data. Kailangan natin gawin, una, is to find the position of the kth quantiles. For quartile, we have Q sub k is equal to k times n all over 4. K is also equal to 1, 2, or 3. For deciles, we have B sub k is equal to k times n all over 10, where k is equal to 1, 2, 3, up to 9. Percentiles, we have P sub k is equal to k times n over 100, where k is equal to 1, 2, 3, up to 99. For the values, we have for quartiles, we have Q sub k is equal to LB plus the quantity k times n over 4 minus CFB all over F of QK times I. And here are for deciles and percentiles. Nagkaiba-iba lang sa denominator of k. k times n. For quartiles, over 4. For deciles, over 10. And percentiles, over 100. LV is the lower boundary of the kth quantile class. CFB is the cumulative frequency before the quantile class. F of QK is the frequency of the quantile class. And I is the class interval. Balikan natin yung data natin kanina sa table. At subukan natin na kunin ang value of the 57th percentile. Kailangan natin gawin is to get the position of the kth quantile, in this case, percentile 57. So we have P sub 57 or percentile 57 is equal to K times N all over 100. Alam natin kanina na ang ating number of data is 40. So by substitution, 57 times 40 all over 100. And that is equal to 2,280 all over 100, which is equivalent to 22.8. So this is the position of the 57th percentile. Tingnan natin ang table. From the cumulative frequency column, we will look for the 22.8 data. And here it is. The age group or class with cumulative frequency 24. That is the age group or class 13 to 17. After identifying the location of the 22.8 data, we get the values of the following. The lower boundary of this group or class, 12.5. The frequency of this class, that is 5. The cumulative frequency before the class in which 22.8 data belongs, that is equal to 19. The class interval used, which is equal to 5. Let us proceed sa computation. Ito ang formula for getting the value of percentile 57. By substitution, we have the lower boundary 12.5 plus the position of the 57th percentile 22.8 minus the cumulative frequency before the class in which 22.8 data belongs, 19 all over 5, which is the frequency of the class, and the interval is equal to 5. Let us evaluate these quantities. 22.8 minus 19 divided by 5. And the result will be multiplied by 5. We will get 12.5 plus 3.8. And the sum is 16.3. Meaning, 57% of the ages are below 16.3 and 43% of the ages are above 16.3. Subukan pa natin ang isa. Let us look for the upper quartile. At alam natin, ang upper quartile ay ang quartile 3. Hanapin muna natin ang position ng quartile 3 data. The formula, quartile 3 is equal to K times N all over 4. And by substitution, we have K is 3 and N is 40. The product is 120 over 4. And the position is the 30th data. Balik ulit tayo sa table. Sa cumulative frequency column, hahanapin ulit natin ang 30th data. At narito yon. The age group or class with cumulative frequency 32. We repeat the process. After identifying the location of the 30th data, we get the values of the following. The lower boundary of the age group or class, 17.5. The frequency of the class, which is 8. The cumulative frequency below, in which the 30th data belongs, that is equal to 24. And interval is 5. Computation na ulit tayo. So here is the formula for getting quartile 3. And by substitution, we have lower boundary 17.5 plus the computed position 30 minus the cumulative frequency before the class in which the 30th data belongs, that is 24, all over the frequency of the class, which is 8, times the intervalues, 5. We will evaluate these values. 30 minus 24 over 8, and the result will be multiplied by 5. We will get 17.5 plus 3.75. We now get the sum, and the sum is 21.25, meaning 75% of the ages are below 21.25 and 25% of the ages are above 21.25. Ngayon, huling hirit na. Let us find the ninth decile. The formula, decile 9 is equal to K times N all over 10. By substitution, we have 9 times 40 over 10. And that is 360 over 10. And that is equal to the 36th data. Balikan natin ang table. Katulad ng ginawa kanina, we will look for the 36 data from the cumulative frequency column. At nandito yon. The group or class with cumulative frequency 40. Then we repeat the process. After identifying the location of the 36 data, we get the values of the lower boundary of the class or group, that is 22.5, the frequency of the class or group, which is equal to 8, the cumulative frequency below, in which the 36 data belong, that is 32, and again, the interval used is 5. Para sa computation of values of the ninth decile, we have this formula. And by substitution, the lower boundary is 22.5 plus the computed position, 36, minus the cumulative frequency before the class, 32, all over the frequency of the class, 8, times the class interval 5. We repeat the process by evaluating these values. 36 minus 32 all over 8 times 5. We have 22.5 plus 2.5. Getting the sum, we will get 25. Therefore, 90% of the ages are below 25 and 10% of the ages are above 25. Maraming salamat at sana ay natulungan ko kayo sa inyong lesson sa measures of position, quartiles, deciles, and percentiles for group and ungrouped data. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood at pakikinig. Nawa ay natulungan ko kayo upang mas maunawaan ninyo ang inyong lesson sa mathematics. Gusto ko ring magpasalamat sa patuloy ninyong pagsuporta sa ating Facebook page at ang ating YouTube channel. Kung nagustuhan nyo at natulungan kayo ng aming mga videos, inaanyayahan ko kayo na mag-like at mag-subscribe sa ating YouTube channel. At huwag rin kalimutan na pindutin ang notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga videos na na-upload natin. Maraming salamat at paalam!